Whoa!
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Earlier, we were talking about the flat earthers and where they get their facts from, or what they perceive to be facts. And it got me to thinking, you're a conspiracy theorist.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm open to some things.
You're a conspiracy theorist. You believe in Bigfoot. Where are you getting your facts on Bigfoot?
Todd Standing.
What's that?
Real Bigfooters know who Todd Standing is. Real Squatchers know who Todd Standing is.
Unless that's the Bigfoot, his name is Todd, then I don't know what it's all about.
I mean, I've read a lot of books growing up. I started getting into this.
You've never read a book in your life.
That's not true. I have.
That is
I've read books on Sasquatch, Gigantopithecus, the Ice Bridge.
Entire books? Entire books. From front to back.
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
I read books.
I'm thinking that is not the facts.
That is.
I think those are YouTube facts.
Are those fake facts?
Yeah, those are YouTube facts.
No. I've read books. I watch a lot of videos, a lot of documentaries out there about Todd Standing does a great one.
What?
On Bigfoot.
Where are you watching these documentaries?
Amazon Prime or Netflix has them. And Les Stroud, remember Survivor Man? We just played that interview back from I don't know how many years ago when nobody had asked him about Bigfoot. We asked him about it. I told you this a decade ago. Do you remember when I told you that when ghosts hunting was the big thing? I said, you watch. The ghost hunting is going away, and Bigfooting is going to be the next big thing. Then there was freaking Finding Bigfoot. There's big cable network shows supporting these, including Survivor Man, who then did Survivor Man Bigfoot. And he went out with this guy named Todd Standing. He's a former Green Beret, blah, 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 blah. And
blah, 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 blah. Is that what page is that on? 68?
And Discovering Bigfoot is with Todd Standing. And this guy's amazing. Let me see if I can get some images. And he's actually an amateur photographer, but he's actually got some pretty good videos and photos of Sasquatch. So because he's...
Where are you finding out about him?
I'm finding out about him, I don't know.
On the Les Stroud show?
Well, I did Survivor Man Bigfoot is how I found out about him originally. Then I watched his documentary, which is pretty amazing. And so he's in the woods. He's wearing those ghillie sacks, and he's got a camera, and he's running ahead, and then he's hiding. And the Bigfoots are chasing him, but not like to chase him down, just because they're curious, and then he gets a quick photo of him. It sounds ridiculous.
It's a lie, because that would be big news.
Ridiculous.
If they discovered a Bigfoot and they had documented evidence, that would make the NBC Nightly News.
Do you remember when we talked to Professor Dr. Jeff Meldrum from the University of Idaho in Pocatello?
Remember that guy.
We talked to Dr. Meldrum. He is a cryptozoologist.
Did that make the interview special? He
went out and did a deal with Todd Standing. Todd Standing is the leading guy when it comes to squatching right now.
Okay.
All right. I told you we should do a Squatch podcast.
No, we shouldn't.
Because I would have to care. You're kind of getting one right now.
I would kind of have to care about it
to do it. I'm going off on a tangent. But
you are.
But it's pretty impressive.
And there's still what's impressive about it?
Some of the stuff that he's done is pretty impressive. Discovering Bigfoot, look it up. It's on Amazon. Watch it. It's free if you're a Prime member.
Okay, so I look it up and I still don't get facts. I get this great story that's taking me along on this ride where there's a possibility.
The facts are within the story. I mean, they go out and they see these tree structures where trees have literally been ripped up out of the ground and placed upside down, something that a human couldn't do. They're going 6 to 7 feet tall, and trees that are about, how big is that? That's like the size of the end of a baseball bat, are broken half, 7 feet high.
In 2019, I would not be able to steal a keychain and walk through a city without being surveilled. How come they can't surveil Bigfoot?
Because they're not running around downtown where all the cameras are, dumbass. They're out in the middle of the Sierras.
Set up
and
some
the mountains.
cameras. Set up some cameras.
Now, there's some people
drones.
that say...
You have the technology to come up with the proof of Bigfoot if Bigfoot really exists. There's not still proof. Still, to this day, not proof.
When we talked to Les Stroud in that interview played earlier in the week, and he talked about going for his camera and his battery was dead.
Yeah, always. Oh, it's always that drastic battery.
There are pictures and things like that. They're just not very clear because the animal was too close, or the Sasquatch, whatever. The animal was too close to the tree. Too
smart for humans that believe in the animal.
Well, you could say that. You could say that.
How about that?
Discovering Bigfoot. Check it out.
How many Bigfoot people think that they found Bigfoot, and then they go back and they check their footage, and they're like, "Oh, never mind," and then they stop believing in Bigfoot because
I don't know.
He's so elusive that you could never catch him.
I'm sure it's happened, but I just don't know. I don't have that answer for you.
I've got a real conspiracy theory.
That's what we wanted to hear.
This
We're
one,
getting to it now.
This one is not rooted in folklore. There's no Loch Ness monster. There's no ghosts. There's no mythical creatures. But this one is on behalf of the auto industry and the insurance companies. My wife drives a red car. It's one of the only red cars I notice on the roadway. In fact, it's one of the only red cars other people notice on the roadway, because whenever I'm driving it, I'm always sitting inside this red car, and I'm like, what's this a-hole looking at? Why are people looking at me?
Your car, this Fiat that you drive, this bright red Fiat, looks like it came right out of a cartoon.
It does. It looks like cars.
I think that's why people look at it. It's so
it looks
hideous.
like the spinning cars at Cars Land at California Adventure. That's what it looks like.
Okay, I haven't been there, and I don't know about that, but I'm telling you, it looks like something out of a Disney flick.
Luigi's dancing cars. But I've also noticed that there are other Fiats on the roadway that I don't notice as much as I noticed the red car. Then I got to thinking back to when we were coming of age, and we would drive cars
In the mid to late 90s.
Mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of colored cars. Remember, what was the Dodge
Viper
car? No, it only came in really bright colors. Was it the neon?
The neon, yeah.
Neon came in like a red, a blue, a green,
The highlighter colors.
yellow.
Yeah, highlighter yellow.
They came in bright colors. And I blame Dodge for maybe making the bright car not so popular, because people saw a bright car come in, they're like, oh, it runs like crap, because those neons did run like crap. But at least you saw those cars. I cannot tell you how many times I've almost gotten in an accident because a car blends in with the landscape. You take a look at the cars out in the parking lot out there. Look at those cars. There's a gray car. There's a silver car.
White. A lot of white.
There's a white. There's a black. There's a darker gray. There's another dark gray. The only colored car out there is somewhat of a blue car, but it's more silver blue, and a maroon car that is sitting down there. Everything is a muted dark color. Now, isn't it hard to pick off a muted dark color on the horizon if it's coming at you, as opposed to, like, you remember the Xterra, the Nissan Xterra?
Yeah.
It came in this yellow, like
canary yellow.
Effing where yellow, I called it. I mean, you saw that thing coming from 6 miles away.
Yeah.
Not a mile away, 6 miles away. You'd see that big yellow car coming. You're like, all right, a yellow car coming. Now, everything is pavement color, or it's landscape color. My theory on this is insurance companies and automobile companies. Automobile companies started getting kickbacks from the insurance companies once they agreed to make the majority of their cars muted colors that blended in with the background, blended in with their environments, because they're harder to see.
So your conspiracy theory is insurance companies have something to do with the color of the cars that the auto industry is releasing, so they're blended, so they'll get an accident, so they can...
The auto industry and the insurance companies are in cahoots to make the roads less safer and more profitable for themselves.
What about black?
Same
Black's
thing.
been around forever.
Black blends in.
Well, at night, it's hard to see.
It blends in, yeah, exactly. It's hard to see at nighttime. It's hard to see.
I really think that the reason colors are the way they are is because those are the colors people prefer.
They prefer them, but who drove them to prefer them? Because there was a time when people liked colored cars. People liked
orange?
Yeah, people liked
baby blue,
bright cars. They wanted to stand out. There was a time, think back to the sports car era of the 50s and 60s.
But I think those colors are starting to come back now.
How about a candy apple red Mustang? Come on, dude. Everybody wanted a cherry. Everything had to be cherry.
Well, people quit driving red Corvettes and red sports cars because everybody thought it was going to get them a ticket.
Yes. And that was a myth perpetuated by the auto insurance industry in order to get people to switch over to a muted color car in order to make the roads less safe, so
you make it sound like the auto insurance
could jack up the rates on people's
it's like they have a union
plan.
or something, like they're all together in one association that they all have to pay dues to. So
does the auto industry benefit from mandatory car insurance? Absolutely, it benefits.
How does it benefit?
Well, it doesn't. But the auto insurance
companies do.
The auto insurance companies do. They absolutely do. So then once it started becoming mandate across the country, like, is there a state that you could drive in right now without car insurance? Probably not. If there is, I don't want to live in that state. But then they're like, hey, they go to GM. They're like, hey, you know what, guys? Geico goes to GM, whoever. I don't know. Auto insurance company X goes to GM.
Let's make silver, white, brown,
What's
black,
the deal with the red cars and the
forest
yellow
green.
cars? Why don't we make a car that's less visible, so people can get in accidents? We could drive up their premiums. We make a little bit of money, and we kick you back some money for driving the muted car initiative. That's what I call it.
This is this is the colors at Ford right now. All right, you got silver spruce, like a spruce tree. All right, hold on a second. Here we go. Here we go. We got abyss gray, like into the abyss.
Right.
Just disappear.
Listen, you're on Highway 1, and
Now you see, you're starting to get.
It's a foggy day,
here.
like it always is on Highway 1. That's the abyss.
How about diffused silver?
Diffused. Right there you go.
I know. This is all going towards your argument. Wow.
I mean, seriously, shouldn't every car? I mean, okay, listen, you go out hunting with your buddies, right? What do you wear? You wear day glow orange so you don't get shot by Dick Cheney, okay?
Yes.
Vice. Still haven't seen Vice yet. I got to see Vice. I just want to know how Christian Bale pulls off Dick Cheney. You wear orange jackets so you don't get shot. If we're truly worried about safety in the auto industry, how come every damn car is not bright orange or variances of bright colors? Bright orange, bright red, bright green, bright yellow, bright whatever. This orange right here, pen orange. I don't understand it. If we really were worried about the commutes being safer, you would make the cars more visible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of the other ones now from GM, and it's all the same. They do have an orange.
Don't get me wrong.
Omaha orange.
I'd much rather drive my black car than my wife's red car. In fact, we fight over who's going to drive the black car because nobody wants to drive the red car because you stand out like a sore thumb.
Because everybody's staring at you.
But
because you look like you drove right out of a cartoon.
Fault. That is not my fault. That is the auto insurance industry's fault.
James says he has a theory that people are actually responsible for their own actions. And that gun laws are not actually intended to make us safer, but more dependent on governments to provide us and keep us safe.
There's some truth to that. I mean, there's a tinge of truth to that.
Well, let's see here. I saw another one. What was the other one I see?
It's always nice whenever you bring up conspiracy theories. I was wondering how long it was going to take until a gun comment was made or a Trump comment was made.
No Trump ones that I can see yet.
Really? Good.
Bryson says one of his good friends, who he says is an idiot, thinks the earth is flat.
Yeah, the flat earthers that we were talking about. He got all his facts from YouTube.
Dumbass of the day earlier today. We've got Fast Eddie on the line.
Just like people that believe in Bigfoot.
Morning.
Man, I miss you guys.
You miss us.
We haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
We've been here the whole time.
You know where to find us. In fact, we're a lot easier to find now than we've ever been before. You got podcasts, you got streams, you got apps, you got 93.3 on your radio dial. We got it all.
Well, I'm anti-technology, and I've been out in the Eastern Sierra, so I've been chasing Bigfoot. Sasquatch.
It's a Sasquatch.
It's a saucy. He's got sauce on him.
I'm living proof that Sasquatch is there.
Did you bite your cheek? Because
No, I've got a dip in my mouth. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Because I bit my cheek the other day, and certain words are very hard for me to say lately.
Like Sasquatch?
Like Sasquatch.
Instead of Sasquatch?
It's easier for me to say Sasquatch than it is for Sasquatch.
All right.
I love you guys.
Oh, well, you're living proof. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? What are you calling us for? What's going on? You haven't given us anything.
Are you the Sasquatch? Or the Sasquatch?
No. No, he's there. He chased me. He's like, okay, they're out there. They're underground, like you said. They're onto us. They're really elusive. and I had one chase me. And in the Eastern Sierras, you have to learn avalanche control. You have to learn bear tactics. So when you're being chased by a bear, you drop all your clothing. They're scavengers. They're going to stop and smell your clothes. And that's how you get away from Sasquatch.
Same thing?
Pretty much same thing. They're scavengers.
How do you know what you saw was not a bear?
Well, because it looked like my ex. It was on 2 legs.
It looked like your ex? But bumps.
All right. Well, thank you with Fast Eddie. Appreciate it.
Did you get any proof?
Hey,
Did you get any proof?
No, he didn't get any proof.
No. I just, he chased me down, and I was scared. So I got away, though. I'm still here, and you guys rock. I love you guys.
Adios.
Is it possible that a lot of the people that have these run-ins with Bigfoot, that they're under the influence?
Or maybe
something.
not on the medications they should be taking.
Yeah, maybe they're not under the influence that they need to be on. This is what I want to get to the bottom of. Maybe we could contact this person, Emma. She says Chuck E. Cheese's reuses pizza slices.
There was a story a week or two ago about this in the news.
Wait, so they, like, if there's a pizza left on the table, they slap it together into another pie?
Yeah, and then they retop it and that can't
throw
be.
Throw it in the microwave, melt it together a little bit.
I mean, pizza's just so cheap to make. Does that mean you're cheap or you're lazy? Are these just lazy workers not wanting to remake another
resourceful.
pizza?
That means you're resourceful. Wait, you heard this in the news?
There was some headline and I just laughed it off.
That Chuck E. Cheese is reusing their pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a restaurant owner, I might think about the idea. Good thing I'm not a restaurant owner.
I think Fast Eddie right now is probably sitting there listening to the rest of this conversation going, man, that pizza sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't care how many people
didn't have that in the
of it.
Eastern Sierras when you were being chased by Bigfoot. If you did, you'd drop that. He would eat that.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe to the podcast on Google, Apple, YouTube, and Podbean by clicking on Jeff and Jeremy at KZOC.com.